It has been a couple of weeks since I've made a video for this YouTube channel. I apologise for that. I've been on holidays, multiple holidays. I've been away from home, so I've just not had a chance to make any videos. I am sorry, but I am back, and I thought a good place to start coming back would be to talk about who should be the next person to hold every single main roster championship in the WWE. Since I last made a video, we've had SummerSlam, so lots of title changes happened. So I think this is a good time to make this video. It also makes it quite a difficult time to make this video because of how many fresh new champions we have, so we don't really know what direction they're all going to go. But nonetheless, these are everyone who I think will be the next champions in the WWE. So we will start with the Intercontinental Championship, which is freshly around the waist of Bron Breakker. Of course, he beat Sami Zayn recently for the Intercontinental Championship, and I fully expect him to hold this championship for a good amount of time. I'm talking, you know, half a year, probably something like that. They're just gonna make him this dominant champion, which he is and deserves to be. So who should be the one to take the title from him? I think it's someone who he's already had some interactions with over the last couple of weeks. I think it should be Ilya Dragunov. So why Ilya Dragunov? I don't think there's many people who are on Bron Breakker's level in terms of you know, the way that they build him to be intense and dangerous and that sort of, you know, just dominant force that the WWE push him to be, and that his athleticism and all of his attributes allow him to be. Ilya Dragunov, we've seen throughout his entire time with the WWE, whether that be the main roster, NXT, NXT UK, he's got that intensity, that drive, that aggression, that even though he's, you know, a smaller wrestler, we've seen him go up against and beat people like Gunther or Walter as it was at the time. So I think Ilya Dragunov is a really good choice to be the next Intercontinental Champion. It'll be a good starting point to get gold on him, his first main roster bit of gold. So I'm going with Ilya Dragunov to be the next Intercontinental Champion. We have another brand new mid-card champion in the WWE. At SummerSlam, we saw LA Knight beat Logan Paul in his hometown to become the new United States Champion. So who should take the United States Championship? I have gone for Carmelo Hayes. So this is a feud we've already had teased, we've already had little crossover interactions, and I think it just makes the most sense. Carmelo Hayes is newly onto the main roster, off being called up from NXT. He's not, you know, he sort of had a weird time on the main roster. He started off straight away into having a match with Cody Rhodes on his very first night, I think, on SmackDown, if I remember that correctly. And then he sort of dropped off the boil a little bit. He struggled to pick up momentum. Now he's sort of intertwined with Andrade, and they're having some amazing matches. I think eventually we're going to circle back round to the LA Knight feud, maybe, you know, Royal Rumble, some WrestleMania, sometime like that. So yeah, I think the promos that these two will be able to do together will be great. I think the feud will be amazing, and I think Carmelo Hayes is the correct choice to become the next United States Champion. Next up, the Women's Tag Team Championships are currently being held by the Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And this, as you will see with all of my Tag Team Championship picks, I have a real internal issue with two single superstars being put together and given tag team championships. The point of tag teams is that they should be better than two random single stars put together, even if they're worse than those individual single stars, if you understand what I'm saying. Because, you know, as a tag team, they'll have more chemistry, they'll know how to be a team, whereas two single stars being put together are single stars. They don't know how to work in a team. They shouldn't be able to beat the tag team champions. Therefore, I've not gone with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, even though they are sort of a women's tag team at this point, but I've not gone with them. I've gone for an actual women's tag team. I've gone for Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. They've recently aligned themselves with Sonya Deville. They are not dominating Monday Night Raw, but they're being well placed on the card. So I think they are a good choice to be the next women's tag team champions. I think the other option really would be Damage Control, sort of a combo of whoever in Damage Control you want. But I've gone for Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler purely because they haven't held titles, either of them, for a decent amount of time now. So why not give them titles? I think they're a good team. They complement each other well. I think the addition of Sonya Deville in terms of being sort of the mic worker, the voice for the group, will work well for them. And I'm a fan of the faction. So for that reason, really, they are, in my opinion, the best choice to be the next WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. The current WWE Men's Tag Team Champions are the Bloodline. At the moment, it's Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, but I'm not quite sure on the full extent to the injury of Jacob Fatu. I say injury because I'm still not sure if it's a work or not, or whether it's just to sort of not entirely keep him in the same area as Roman Reigns, basically. However, as I was saying previously, for the women's tag teams, I don't want to just put two men's stars together. I know the Bloodline, you could instantly go to someone like Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. You could go to, I don't know, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens or Randy Orton, people like that, and just put them into a team. But I don't want to do that. I don't think that's the point of the tag team divisions. So I'm going to go for an actual tag team who have slowly been picking up momentum after a sort of a lull period. They've been slowly getting back on track to where they once were, and I've gone for the Street Profits. So Ford and Dawkins are a great team, great moveset. Once at a time were probably the most popular tag team in the entire division of WWE. But, you know, stuff with Bobby Lashley didn't quite work out. They sort of, you know, dropped off of TV for a little bit. Now they're back, they're being placed a lot more prominently on the card. So I think carry on that momentum, try and elevate the Street Profits back to the level that they were once at, if I could speak properly. And to do that, let's give them the WWE Tag Team Championships. The World Tag Team Championships are currently being held by the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. So this pick, immediately you're probably going to think, what are you talking about? But I think it could be a nice moment. So to sort of preface this, I think we may see some situation where the titles are on the line between Judgment Day and this team. Damian Priest ultimately costs the Judgment Day the Tag Team Championships, and they go to the Alpha Academy, Akira Tozawa and Otis. Now, I know that might seem a bit far-fetched, it might seem a bit comical, and maybe it would be a comedy run. They would very likely be transitional champions into another sort of more solidified, credible tag team. But I just think that the Alpha Academy, so obviously not including Chad Gable anymore, but Maxine, Otis and Tozawa have been doing really good work for the last few months, sort of around Chad's Intercontinental Championship pursuits and then the breakup of the Academy with Gable going off to American Made and the Academy staying together. I just think they've been doing really good work, and I think they should be rewarded for that good work because, you know, nice things should happen to nice people, and they seem like nice people. So the Alpha Academy, maybe not correctly, but I've gone for the Alpha Academy to be the next World Tag Team Champions. Liv Morgan is the current Women's World Champion, and she's sort of at the moment in a feud with Rhea Ripley. And I've gone with Rhea Ripley to be the person to take this title from her. Now, when I say Rhea Ripley, I don't mean that this should happen soon, because I don't think it should. I think we should sort of draw the two apart for a little while and then bring them back together again, maybe around WrestleMania or something like that. I know we've still got the Dom situation and they are still intertwined together. I'm not sure off the top of my head if they're going to have a match at Bash in Berlin. I've not watched Raw from this week yet, even though we're on Thursday. I've been busy, cut me some slack. So I'm not sure if they're having a match at Bash in Berlin. They are not having a match at Bash in Berlin. They are having a mixed tag match with Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio. So that's fine. I think maybe this can be the position where you give Priest and Ripley a win, so they sort of get a little bit of closure in their situation with Liv and Dom. And at that point, take them apart, sort of leave them on opposite ends of the card for a little while, and then maybe you could have Rhea win the Rumble or something like that, or they just naturally come back together towards the start of 2025. That way we set up Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley once again, with Rhea Ripley becoming the new Women's World Champion. Nia Jax is the brand new WWE Women's Champion. She took that belt off of Bayley very recently, and the elephant in the room around her entire title reign at the moment is Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany, currently holding the Money in the Bank contract, is in an alliance of sorts with Nia Jax at the moment. So, of course, the easy answer here would be to say Tiffany Stratton cashing in on her, turning her back on Nia, and taking the Women's Championship. However, I don't think it should or needs to be that simple. Maybe you could have Tiffany attempt to cash in during one of Nia's matches. Nia sort of sees it coming, goes to take out Stratton, but in doing so allows her opponent in the match to take advantage, put her away and beat her, and then maybe Tiffany could cash in on that newer champion a little bit later down the line. But who should be the person who takes advantage? I've really struggled with this one because Nia is, she's really unique in the women's division, and I'm a really big fan of her at the moment. I think since her return, her run has been amazing. Fully deserves to be the women's champion at this moment in time. But I just went for sort of WWE's ultimate, women's star. I've just gone with Bianca Belair. You could make an argument here for Charlotte Flair, even though she's injured at the moment, so it wouldn't be at, soon, but a few months down the line, because, Charlotte wins lol, and especially when she comes back from injuries, often I feel like I remember a good few instances where she's fresh off an injury, she comes back straight into the title picture, picks up the title straight away, and then we carry on. But I've gone for Bianca Belair. She'll move away from Jade Cargill eventually and probably back into the women's championship scene. And in doing so, maybe she'll pick up the title. They're never shy to put a title on Bianca. So I'll go with Bianca Belair to be the next women's champion. The Ring General Gunther is the current world heavyweight champion. And of course, he is WWE's most dominant champion at this moment in time. He's just held the Intercontinental Championship for a record-breaking, I think it was 666 days off the top of my head, or something around that. It was at least 600 days. And I saw a stat the other day that in his entire WWE career, he's been a champion for like 75% of it or something, which is mental, whether that's the NXT UK or the Intercontinental Championship or now the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther is the best. So who should take the title off of Gunther? Now, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you may know I have a bit of a soft spot for this man, and I will not stop. I will keep going until this man wins a championship. I've gone for Chad Gable, and I'm not upset about it. I don't even care what people say. I'm going with Chad Gable. Just give him a championship. Just let him be as good as he can be. He is literally a reincarnation of Kurt Angle. He obviously isn't at the levels of Kurt Angle yet, but I think if you push him properly and consistently, he can be as entertaining. He can be as good in the ring. He can literally be this generation's Kurt Angle. They have so many similarities, and I don't want him to just be Kurt Angle 2.0. I want him to be Chad Gable. But obviously the similarities are there, so the comparison is easy. But please, WWE, just give Chad Gable something nice that isn't just a little bit of a push and then taking it away, and then a little bit of a push and then taking it away. Just let him be pushed properly. Let him win the World Heavyweight Championship. And last but not least, we have the WWE Undisputed Championship, currently of course around the shoulder of Cody Rhodes, and I think this one is easy. Of course, the person to take the Undisputed WWE Championship should be the infamous Tonga Loa. I wish. Of course, I'm joking. I think it should be Randy Orton. Now, my other option here really was John Cena, and that was also for the World Heavyweight Championship, potentially being the one to take it from Gunther. Obviously, we're going to get into Cena's last year in the company, his retirement year in 2025. And I think he should have that 17th World Championship run. So at some point, he will need to pick up that championship. But I don't think it should be from Cody Rhodes. Maybe it could. I'm not saying it can't. I think, you know, obviously they're both faces, so that causes a bit of a problem. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton are as well, but we'll get to that a bit later. So, you know, two faces going together is always a bit more difficult. When it's someone as iconic as John Cena and as popular as Cody Rhodes is now, you can make it work. But if you've watched my fantasy booking of John Cena's final year within the WWE, you'll know the direction I think this story should go. And for that reason, I think Randy Orton should be the one to beat Cody Rhodes, maybe around the Royal Rumble time. And then that could potentially take us into WrestleMania. One last hurrah with the eternal feud of Randy Orton versus John Cena, with the undisputed WWE Championship on the line, setting up Cena's 17th record-breaking WWE Championship run. So that is everyone who I think should be the next champion of the main roster in the WWE. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments who you think should be the next to hold any of the championships within the WWE or NXT. Let me know your thoughts about NXT. I haven't covered them in this video just because I haven't got the time to be honest. But maybe that could be a video for another day. Let me know your thoughts. Please do like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more weekly wrestling content. I know it's not been weekly, but I'll try my best to get back to weekly. I'm not going on holiday anymore for the rest of the year, so should hopefully be able to get some more weekly videos out. And yeah, thank you for watching.